Hello and welcome to an update of the Titans. So let's start the update with our African Nightcrawler bin. And let's see how these guys are doing. I'm always on the lookout for cocoons. And I have to say that the African Nightcrawlers have always been a bit of a mystery to me. They reproduce beautifully, but I can almost never find cocoons. And I think I'm pretty good at spotting cocoons in all my other bins. So, never could understand why I'm having such a hard time spotting these guys as cocoons. But oh well. The material is really nice. What I've observed is that the castings of the African Nightcrawler is a lot flakier than the other worms. But these guys are looking awfully nice and juicy. And look at this guy. Yeah, the bin feels good, and the material is nice and airy. I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to add more bedding or if I will start letting them work over the material and harvest at some point. You know, I don't like to let my bins get overly full of material because it makes it that much harder to do a horizontal migration because I have to pile everything up to one side when I do that. So I don't like for them to get too full. It's probably a little bit, maybe a little bit more, maybe an inch or so. So let's see. We fed here. As you saw, I'm just turning the material over as I do every week. And then this is where we fed the last time. Let's see if they're still working on it. Oh yeah, well, they're still working on it. I've got a nice collection of them in here. And I see babies too. That's exactly what I'm saying, is that I don't really see the cocoons, but you can see the babies. So as long as I'm seeing babies, I'm more than happy. Okay, so I'm going to, I guess, feed them here. This corner right here. And I am going to give them bedding. So they are going to get, what do I call it? The Santa Claus bag. It's my plastic bag with all the goodies in it. I'm not going to give them too much because they still have some food, but enough to make sure that they have what they need. There's some eggshell, and we're going to cover this up for them. And I'm going to mark it just so I don't forget where I fed. And meanwhile, these guys are all nice and taken care of. So this looks good. These guys are certainly large and active. So let's go over to our European Nightcrawlers. Okay, so here are the European Nightcrawlers. And for those of you who are new to my channel, just wanted to show you, I don't have holes anywhere on the side or the bottom of the bin. What I do is I make a large cutout in the lid, and then I just put some material, mesh material. It doesn't matter what kind of mesh material, as long as it's breathable and prevents bugs from entering in. That's all I care about. And so this works really, really well in getting plenty of air into the bin without drying it out. If you stack your bins one on top of the other, then what you can do is do a nice large cutout on the sides, and that way you can put one bin on top of the other and it won't close off the air. And you can do the same thing, just tape some screen over it, and that prevents any fruit flies or any kind of pests from entering, and lets plenty of air into the bin, keeping everything nice and comfortable for the worms. Remember that when you feed, kitchen waste, as it breaks down, can release ammonia, and the gases can kill your worms if they don't have a place to escape to. I'm not talking about the worms, I'm talking about the gases. Here's a big guy. So with proper aeration, the gases can escape and your bin stays nice and healthy, and the worms are nice and happy. So right now I am just turning the material over. There's plenty of bedding here for sure, so I'm definitely not going to add any more bedding. This guy is going to be so unhappy with me. They are feisty. They don't like it when I mess with them. Oh boy, oh boy. But yeah, here they are. Some really nice, chunky looking specimens. And this is where we fed. And it looks like they're still here breaking things down. Yep, they're still there. Look at, very unhappy with me. I'm gonna cover you up, guys. Don't want you climbing, just trying to cover you up. So I think I'm going to, see, that's what happens. Look at this. These guys are so agitated. So actually I'm going to feed in this section right here. This seems to be the driest spot. I'm not going to give a lot because they have enough over there on that side, but I am keeping an eye on these guys because they're all over the place. Look at that. I don't fish, but these guys are great if you do fish, if you want to raise some worms for composting as well as fishing. These are your guys. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Come on. Don't leave. Okay, I think they'll calm down as soon as I close that lid and leave them alone. Yeah, really feisty guys. Okay, they're looking good. Obviously you can see they're very active. Nice size on them. They look excellent, and the bin has plenty of bedding, so I will not be adding bedding. As they begin to work the bedding over, that's when I will start adding more bedding to this. Of course, I'm going to watch and make sure that the kitchen waste does not overpower the bedding. So if it gets too wet in here, I will stop feeding and I will just let the worms work over the existing bedding, because I do not want to create a wet environment in here for them. So that's something I'm going to keep an eye on. But in the meantime, I'm going to finish this update, and I'm going to make sure these guys do not crawl out of the bin. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time.